Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We are extremely excited. We just got back from convention in Las Vegas, and they announced Leaders Retreat in our hometown of Dallas, Texas.
Yes, we're super excited.
So tonight what we want to do is give you, we've spent a lot, basically all weekend long, going through the numbers, looking at all the prizes and all the opportunities, and we figured out and cracked the code of what's going to take to earn every single prize. Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. It's one of my favorite quotes from Henry Ford. So until the very last day and the horn sounds and the game's over, you need to think that you can win all these prizes, if not for yourself, for your team.
Correct.
All right. Good commentary there from Jen. All right, so let's go.
I've been told to be quiet.
So let's discuss a plan that allows us to not only earn our Leaders Retreat, but win all the prizes. You can do this. Okay, so here are the parameters. As you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, we've got the credits it's going to take to qualify, 750. Every single person that I can see on this call tonight is going to qualify. That's a no-brainer. But it's one thing to qualify. It's another thing to actually earn some of the goodies. And I think the goodies get really good when you hit at least 1,900 points, because you get the reception and you've got $900 in cash in your back pocket to play with while you're in Dallas, and that's a good amount of money. In addition, Leaders Retreat, your hotel is paid for. You just have to make travel arrangements to get here. So those of you that you know you're coming, I would already look at flights into DFW Airport. We'll talk about that on the side, but essentially it's the closest to the Gaylord. They've got shuttle service for $15, Ubers even less than that. But check out DFW Airport when you're flying in. All right, so number one, contest parameters. The first step you must do is you have to visualize your goal. See yourself earning the top prize. And really, that's 4,000 credits. See yourself being shuttled on the bus with all of the other people, taken to likely North Park Mall, one of our nicest malls in the area, if I had to guess, maybe the Galleria, and into Nordstrom, and visualize that little beautiful card that they give you that has $3,000 on it, and being able to shop till you drop. Bless your team, bless your family. Just visualize that all the way. I don't think it's fun to visualize getting $150 in fun money. Like, that's not a visualization. We want to shoot for the biggest and the best.
And here's the only thing I will say about that.
Go ahead.
It doesn't cost you anything to visualize at the top. I think a lot of times I hear, well, but if I affirmed myself and I visualized getting it and I didn't, so what? You probably got a lot closer to something else than if you had set your sights lower. So it doesn't cost you anything to dream.
Have you seen any posts of people who said, I'm going to reach this goal, and they didn't get, did anybody post you're a loser?
Loser! No.
I don't think we've seen that.
No.
All right. So. Number two, the minute doubt creeps in, and it will creep in for all of us, we need to do that, Victor Antonio. Delete it and hit that delete button. Okay? There can be no room for doubt. Even on your worst of days, you must push away all doubt and persevere. And then step three, this is the toughest one, especially for the person sitting next to me, and that is fail my way first, because you won't.
Yeah, funny eat crow story real quick. When we did our little, what do we call it, in March that we did with our Growing Our Teams, when we started converting customers to ambassadors, wholesale ambassadors, I kept telling Phil, we don't need to do that. We've already taught our team that. They already know what to do, and they're not doing it. And had we done it Jen's way and not done anything, we wouldn't have had that tremendous growth of 74 ambassadors in a day. So I came to him and said, you were right. And so as Sherry mentioned on a little message for her team earlier today, she said, Phil's really good with numbers, so let's follow his lead and see where it ends up.
Okay, so let's talk about numbers. I'm actually going to change to a spreadsheet here so that you can see some cool numbers. This spreadsheet is going to be in the team page as soon as this video, or as soon as this is over, under the Files tab. So let's go to numbers. Do you all see? There we go. So what I've created is two different trackers, okay? I'm calling it a points breakdown and then a points contest tracker. So first and foremost, it takes 4,000 points to reach the highest level. Let me show you something that I did and worked through these numbers and realized that with the power of 3, this is completely attainable. So if you're starting today and you've never been a part of Plexus, you can hit 4,000 points. Okay, so here's the thing. We've got essentially 3 months. So how many level 1 ambassadors would you need to get in 3 months to have the power of 3? So 3 times 3 times 3 is 9.
9.
Okay, so that's 9 ambassadors. That's 90 points. Awesome, we're on our way. Now, if those 9 ambassadors, we teach them the power of 3, what's 9 times 3?
27.
Okay, that means we get 27 level 2s. Cool, we're getting there. Now, this is where the power of 3 really starts to take effect. 27 ambassadors, we teach them to get the to 3. And by the way, you're going to have some that do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Some that do 1 or 2, but on average, we want to get 3. 27 times 3 is
81.
81.
I got my phone now.
Yeah, she's cheating. And then level 4, we get paid 4 levels down, right? And this contest is for level 4 ambassadors. So 81 times 3 is 243. I can't wait for your calculator. My brain's too fast. Okay, we're at 3,600 points. Now, how many customers do we want to try and get over the next 3 months? Just personally, $50 or more. We've got, by the way, with Edge and the new block, does that give us $50 in PV?
It does.
Amazing.
Amazing.
How many customers do you think we can get in 3 months with that amount of effort?
I think 5 or 6.
Each month, right?
Yeah.
So 15. Okay, yeah. So if we get 15 new customers
in the next 3 months, sure.
Okay, there's 150 points. Now, I don't know about you, but Jen and I have only been averaging like 500 PV the last few months. Okay, so let's just say in June we're only going to get 500 PV. Let's say for the next 2 months we're only going to get 500 PV. We're already at 3,900 points, but in August we're going to crush it. We're going to get to 1,000. We're going to crush it.
Don't tell that.
1 month at 1,000. Look at there.
Mark.
How many points is that, gang?
That's 40, 50. That's what
4,050 points.
Yeah.
Yes. 40, 50. Guess what? We won everything. Okay.
We did.
Simply
we won everything.
by getting
Woo-hoo!
9 ambassadors and 15 customers. Now, the cool thing about this tracker, you can change all this. Let's say you're someone that is really not big on recruiting, but that you get high PV. You're going to get 3 months of 2,500. Let me zero these out. 0, 0, 0, 0. Look at that. You got 900 points. You got $150. If you don't recruit a single new customer and you don't recruit a single new ambassador, you still qualify for Leaders Retreat and you get the $150 happy cash. Or it's not happy cash, fun cash.
Fun cash. Happy cash is
So again, you manipulate this. Just know on these different PVs, you can only have 3 of them, any combination of 3 since there's only 3 months. But play with this. You can say, I'm going to get 2 ambassadors, and I hope that they get 10. And I'm going to get 1,000 PV for 3 straight months, and I'm going to get 10 customers. And I think that we're going to get 20 level 3 ambassadors. Okay, I'm going to finish at 870 points. Okay, cool. Makes sense? Now, the second part of this math, all right, so we're going to do some more math, is I've created this tracker that takes the date and says today's the 19th. This calculates, all right? So let's say Jen and I have right now, I think we've got about 80 points, all right? We've already got 80 points.
You might have 80. I think I have more than 80.
Okay, all right, well, let's say it's 100 points already, okay, since June 1st. Notice this column on the right is the points you need per day to reach these different levels. So if you average 10 points a day from today through the end of the contest, you're going to reach $150 in fun money. Let's say somebody joins on July the 15th. Okay, they've got 47, you have 0 points here. They have 47 days left. To be able to qualify, they got to average around 16 points a day, right? And that could be 3 customers, or excuse me, 2 customers a day. It could be a combination of customers and ambassadors. This will break down for you what you need to be averaging per day to be able to reach the goal that you want. So even though this contest started 6/1 and putting tomorrow's date, 6/20, 72 days left, If you're sitting there with 0 points, know that you need to average 55 points a day. All right. Now, at the end of each week, you should reassess.
Yeah.
So on this tracker, let's say next Sunday night's the 26th. So we'll say it's 626, and you've gotten 120 points this week. Okay. I need to pick up the pace. Remember, before it was 55. Now it's up to almost 59 points. Cool. Thumbs up. Help you a little bit. If for those of you that are math people. Okay. I'll pause right here if there are any questions. Okay. I'm going to keep on moving and grooving. We're going to go back to our PowerPoints. There we go. Okay, so here's those numbers I just showed you in the PowerPoint. And again, this will also be on the team page to review later on. Again, if you can average a couple months of 1,000 PV and do 500 PV this month, and that power of 3, really get after it. You want to try and find those 9 new level 1 ambassadors. And we're going to talk about this later in just a second. How you can do that. These numbers will work for you. Okay. Same thing with the points tracker. This I just mentioned. If you start today and you can average 54.79 points a day, you will get to the Nordstrom Shoppers Free. And by the way, that's not just you, right? That's your 4 levels down. So anytime, for example, Hannah Hostetler added a couple ambassadors, that's 10 points for me, right? I haven't met those new people yet, but they're level 4s. That's 10 points. And that's 10 points for Sherilyn as well. Okay, moving on. So let's have a quick reality check. To get to the highest levels, it's not your typical activity isn't going to do it. You're going to have to push way outside your comfort zone. So posting on Facebook every day is not going to get you there. It may get you
to do that.
You still want to do it. It's going to get you to Leaders Retreat maybe, but it's not going to get you all the fun stuff that you want to get when you're there. Sending a few text messages a day won't get you there either. Standing in the store line silently definitely will not get you there. So I love this phrase from Rita Davenport.
Yeah.
Do what you don't want to do for a little while, i.e. 72 days, so you can do what you want to do for a lifetime. It's huge.
Yeah, because what we haven't talked about, the math that Phil didn't share with you here, and we could go back and give you those stats on top of this, is that when you're growing your team and you're working towards a contest end, you're going to come and find yourself 2 or 3 ranks ahead of where you're at right now by the time Leaders Retreat comes around. So in 72 days, you could push yourself through potentially 3 different ranks.
Yes.
3 rank bonuses. That's huge changes in your check and your residual income every month, and really establishing yourself well beyond where you are today.
Yes, and you're getting ahead, which I love. It's good.
Sorry.
All right, so let's use some assumptions, okay? We've talked about the math. We're about to talk about the plan, but let me have some assumptions that we all get level set on. Number 1, you must be passionate, positive, and productive at all times. It goes without saying, but we need to say it. Passionate, positive, and productive at all times.
And productive doesn't mean that you're thinking of all the awesome ways to run your business, that you're putting a plan into place in your mind. It means actually taking action.
That's right. So like the great example from Victor Antonio, 7 birds on a wire, 2 of them decide to jump off. How many are left on the wire?
7.
Yeah, it's not 5, because decision is not action. There's still 7 on the wire. Be productive. You must share, I don't even know if this is a word, but I love it, unabashedly with everyone you come in contact with every day. Share with them your goals. When you're talking to someone about products and getting them to join, don't be afraid to share, I really need you on my team because I'm trying to win Leaders Retreat. People want to help you succeed, and if them getting product from you or joining your team does so, they want to do it, believe it or not. So don't be afraid. Be unabashed in your sharing of your goals, the changes that you've had inside, and your journey that you're on.
And I think it's a perfect time to do that with new people as well as old, because we have new product. And we have new product that works pretty instantaneously in terms of feeling the effects of it, both of them. And so what better time to be really bold and share with those people around you?
Okay. Be a product of the product. We've said this many times. Know your products. Know the differences between Edge and fast-acting block. Know the difference between fast-acting block and old block. Know the differences between a Red Bull and Edge. Know those things. So you need to do that. You need to also have some testimonies lined up, some people that you've seen on Facebook who've had some success that you can go and quote and be ready to share. So this is just having your tool bag full of all the tools to go do the job. And then the last thing is practice, practice, practice. Your significant other or your spouse should know your pitch inside and out because you're practicing with them on a regular basis. Jen could probably go out years ago and sell long distance service to business customers because I did my pitch and have her give me objections over and over and over and over because I wanted to be the best that I could be and provide. And so I needed to have my sword sharpened daily. And the only way I could do that was to practice. Remember your pitch, your 30-second elevator pitch. We're not a health and wellness company. I mean, that's great. We're a health and wellness company. What does that mean? Have a good pitch. Your close. Remember, there's two different types that are great to use, the assumptive and the alternative choice. A quick reminder of those. Assumptive close is, so Jen, let's just get you started today. That's assuming that she already wants to do it. The alternative choice close is, so Jen, do you want to go with the $199 welcome pack or the $99 welcome pack? It's assumptive, but I'm giving her the choice. And then the comp plan. You might not necessarily know all 11 parts of the comp plan, but you need to be able to explain with passionate, positive attitude the benefits and how great the comp plan is and how they'll benefit from it very
how we
quickly.
make money. You just need to be able to tell somebody, if they say, how do I make money with your company?
Yep.
You need to be able to give them a couple of different ways that they make money.
And not to where you're like, well, then there's this, and you've got these different tangents. You need to have it flow and connect. And if you can't do that, get with us, get with your upline. We'll give you a good way to pitch it. And there's plenty of videos on that. And then lastly, the power of three. We've talked about it here already tonight, but you need to understand the power of three and be able to explain that and explain that their goal when they join your team is to go out and find 3 people to join, and that's how they start building their business. The benefits of doing so, of going silver, of that rank bonus, all those things. Okay? So now we're level set on our assumptions. Are we ready to crack the code? Everybody ready? Okay, let's do this. So here's the game plan. Step 1, activity. What you need to do tonight, I wouldn't wait a few days, is you want to make a list and break it down in the following categories. Okay, I want you to make a list of your current customers. I want you to make a list of your potential customers, people that you've been talking to that haven't joined yet. You're going to make a list of your old customers, people that bought products a year ago, 6 months ago, old customers, people are no longer buying from you. And then you're also going to make a list of old or inactive ambassadors. Lastly, you're going to have a Frank's list, which is your friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, kids, connections, and social organizations, church, school, any other organizations that you belong to where you have contacts with people. So you're going to have a lot of lists, and you love lists.
I do love lists.
Okay.
But lists can be overwhelming, but this is going to help you because you're not tackling all of these lists or even all of one list tomorrow. You're just creating this list so that you have it ready and prepared to carry you through the next 3 months.
Okay, so that's step 1. Step 2, execution. You're going to refine your pitch for each of these lists, incorporating the new products, Edge and Fast Acting Block for each category. So here's an example for old customers. And again, this is something I whipped up in about a minute and a half. It can be refined. You can use it. You can put your spin on it. But we want to create a different pitch. You want to create a different pitch for all of these and have them written down, okay, so that you can practice, so that you can make a phone call to these people on the list. If you're going to send a text message, it needs to be a voice message so they can hear your passion and your commitment and your excitement. Words can't be interpreted, okay, and it's easy to say no, but use voice text if you're going to do it. Otherwise, I think phone calls are best.
And I will say this on voice text. People will listen when they see a little arrow on their phone call where they might ignore text that you've written out and not even read it. They will listen to a message.
So for an old customer, here's an example. Hey, Jane, I'm calling because I just got back from convention. I'm guessing you saw some of my posts, and I've been taking the new products. Listen, I know you tried Slim in the past and you couldn't get past the taste, but I have to tell you, these new products will completely get you back on track so you can reach your goals. I'm seeing amazing results in just a few days. So my question is really simple. Can we give, notice I didn't say you, can we give Plexus another shot so you can reach those goals that we talked about before? Okay, simple, right? We're asking the question, we're putting it out there for them to give us a response, all right? That's an old customer. A potential customer is going to have a little bit different pitch. A current customer is going to have a different pitch. So example, for a current customer, hey, I know you're loving
Your triplex.
your triplex. We've got 2 new products we should add to that mix. Here's why. Let's get you started on that today. Okay, cool.
Whatever personal caveat you can include there, the better. So if you know it's about weight loss, then you're going to talk about weight loss in it. If you know they're talking about if they have headache issues, talk about their headache. Make sure that you make it personal.
Good. Okay. Step 3, follow up. It will take anywhere from 0 to 7 no's. Notice I had 1 to 7, but we can't assume we're always going to get a no. We're going to get some yeses off the bat. So 0 to 7 no's to get to a yes. You're going to have to remember your goals when closing. They should be your fuel to keep you going when you get rejections. I have to be completely, and I always will be completely honest with you when I say that Jen and I's fuel right now is for us and for as many people on our team as possible to reach the $4,000 level so that we can all enjoy all the benefits of Leaders Retreat. So when we get a rejection or something like that, that is fuel in the back of my mind. Hey, I've got to get there. We've got to get there. I'm not accepting a no right now. I'm going to keep going until you tell me you're calling police. And then I'm going to keep going until they show up. All right. And you want to practice handling objections. We've talked about this before, but sharpen your sword. Welcome, overcome, and close. The most important of which are the last 2, the welcome and the close. Quick example. Jen gives me objection of?
It's too much money.
Jen, I can appreciate that. Welcome. However, there are so many things that we spend money on, and I know that you've been hooked on Red Bulls for years. My question is this. All those Red Bulls that you buy, they're $2 a piece. You're drinking probably 20 a month. That's $40, $50. Actually, you're probably drinking more like 30 a month. That's $60 a month. When Red Bull doesn't give you wings like they promised, have they ever offered you a money-back guarantee?
No.
No. So really, it's not that you can't afford it. It's that you can't afford not to do this. I'm going to give you a 60-day money-back guarantee. Let's get you on something that's natural, that will give you that edge you're looking for. What do you say? Close.
Sure.
See? I love it. That's how you do it. Welcome. Make sure you're listening. You empathize, overcome, and close. Okay. And then keep people accountable. So if they actually say, okay, just give me a few days, give them a few days. That's fine. But let them know when the few days is over, hey, you said you would get back with me within 3 days. It's been 5. Did I do something wrong? I want to make sure that I followed up and did what I said I was going to do so that they do what they're going to do. It's okay to keep people accountable, especially when they give you a commitment.
Well, and you keep yourself accountable regardless.
That's right.
I said I promised I would talk to you this week, so I'm doing I'm following it.
That's right. I'm doing my part. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Step 4. I hear Jerry Spangler talk about this all the time, and I love it, which is a DMO, a daily method of operation. The most common one is a 3-2-1 approach, which means that you're going to reach out to at least 3 new people a day. You'll follow up with 2 potentials you've spoken to previously. not the same 2 each day. So like you're not going to hit Jim Bob up every day for 5 days, but two potentials a day. And then you'll do 1 training or personal growth or customer service per day. What you don't want to do is spend 4 hours talking to customer service and feel like you worked and did a lot that day. It's not income producing activity. You need to push that stuff, push as much as you can onto your customer. Certainly give them good customer service, but really do what you can to do that during non-productive hours and make sure you're being productive as possible. I love having 2 dogs, by the way, now.
It's only 1 dog.
Yeah. One sitting here whiny because she's a little baby girl. And I have 1 barking because people are walking down the side of the house. Apparently, they're not allowed to do that. Walk on the path. Okay. So DMO, minimum activity to get to the 750, honestly, your DMO. I would take these 15 contacts that you get, right? You're having 5 different contacts a day, and invite them to a weekly Zoom opportunity meeting for 30 minutes. So rather than do an online meeting, if that works for you, that's great. Online meetings, the last few I've seen, like 1 person shows up and there's 10 people trying to run it. I don't know if that's peaked and gone. But a Zoom meeting is really simple, right? We're doing a Zoom right now. And you can do a really quick 30-minute opportunity meeting and have people there on a Sunday afternoon. I've gotten really good feedback that like 3 or 4 o'clock after church is over, before people start planning their Monday morning, that's a good sweet spot for doing 30 minutes. So take those 15 contacts, do a weekly Zoom, a weekly opportunity Zoom. If you've got 15 people that you invite, likely 4 or 5 will show up, and if 4 or 5 show up, 2 to 3 should join.
Or become customers.
That's right.
Join. Right.
Yeah.
One of them.
They're all customers, remember? Okay. In addition, you should always be posting a couple times every week. Okay, so that's step 4, DMO. Okay, last step. I call this the AAA. Assess, adjust, and then activate your plan. Each week you should check your points to progress, determine if you and your team are getting closer or further from your goal. So if you know at the beginning of the week you need to average 55 points a day to hit the 4,000, and now at the end of the week it's now 57 points or 58 points. Okay, we need to adjust the activity up it a little bit, figure out if there's something that we're saying that's not resonating with customers, or conversely, all right, we need to average 55 points, and now we only need to average 40 points. We're doing so incredibly well. We're going to keep the pedal to the metal and keep going and keep that point level where it needs to be. Good?
Great. I would just say, as leaders, I know we have a lot of leaders on here, and I've already seen some of you do that, is that you're instigating and kind of helping and challenging and inspiring a little bit more by doing an incentive of some sort. And so I think that's, again, where this step 5 comes in, that we should be constantly assessing as we get into going back to school. Things might amp up. Who knows if we'll have another July special, but kind of watching those kinds of things as the barometer for your team's success, and making sure that what you're posting to your team pages on a daily basis and a weekly basis in your team calls should all be around this as your ultimate goal. So your training pages should be on, hey, let's learn. We know how to do a Facebook party. Maybe we're going to talk and walk through how to host a successful Zoom opportunity meeting. Maybe we're going to talk about the power of 3 a little bit more. Maybe we're going to talk about the comp plan. So make sure that your trainings and activities that you're providing for your team on a daily basis while they're working this goes alongside, and we're not trying to throw 10 million different things into the mix, that we stay very singularly focused on what we have ahead of us. And all of us have the same thing ahead of us, Leaders Retreat. Celeste did a live video today and talked about this contest is made so that everyone starts on a level playing field and anyone can attain it. So whether you're silver or whether you're an emerald, you can attain these goals.
That's right. And we showed the points earlier
Right.
to break it down that, yes, if you do it the way that we're talking about, every single person can do this. I feel that wholeheartedly. It's not some pie in the sky. Everyone can do it.
Right.
Okay. And I think this team is poised right now to do it because there's so much excitement and so much seasoned veteran, tenure that really knows what to do now that we're ready. So here's the last slide. But I don't even like Dallas. So why should I do this?
We don't want to hear that, please.
But I put it in there because here's a little fact that you all should know. Jen won Leadership Retreat in 2013 after being with Plexus for 2 months. Remember, she started July the
July
17th of 2013. The contest
from today.
that's right. She didn't start for another month. Okay. And she won it without even knowing how to do it. Basically, she was getting customers and ambassadors. At the time, it was 600 points to qualify, and she got over 600 points. And they're like, hey, welcome. You've won Amelia Island Leaders Retreat.
Yeah,
And
you have finished at 720.
so that's right, over 700. So number one, we didn't go because we didn't understand what it meant. So our uplines didn't even understand what it meant at the time either, and so didn't share that. And then we had a trip to Cabo that we went instead.
That's why
but here's the point. Whether you've been doing this for 2 years or 2 months, Jen just said it, it's a level playing field. Everyone can earn this. And it's important to win, not for all the prizes, but how it propels your business to a whole new level. Jen made Emerald less than 8 months after this activity due to the big surge in activity from this contest. So it's time for the summer surge. All right.
And you might not feel like, okay, in the month of June, that I'm going to be earning 50 points a day per se, maybe, because you're learning this. It's all kind of
right.
overwhelming. But if you really can grasp onto the power of 3 in your team, your future team, you may not even have a team right now. But if you get just the 3 people on board with you and get them excited, and what we have to do is something called transference. We have to take our excitement and give it as a gift to the next person coming alongside of us. We have to show them that we see the qualities in them, that they can do this. We have to see for them that it's worth every sacrifice now to have this win in the fall. And y'all know this. Anything in life that we do today affects us 60 to 90 days from now. So if you want your business to be flourishing in the fall, you need to kind of wrap your brain and your heart and your mind and everything else around this and just run with it. Even if you don't even think you can make 900 points, 750 points, just give it your best and see what happens.
So I'll open it up now for questions. We want to record the questions?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So let's do that. I'm going to go back to stopping sharing, and we can see everybody. Fantastic. So unmute yourself if you've got a question. First of all, thank you all for being here, and let's get after it.
So I have a question real quick to kind of jump us.
Good.
If we are doing the Power of 3, I have no problem making people ambassadors instead of preferred customers. Have no problem doing that. So what do we do with those people who were created as ambassadors or personal use ambassadors who are not interested in growing a team per se, or even customers for that matter?
Perfect.
Yeah.
A great question, Sherry. And so I thought about this this weekend as well. So here's the answer. Jen just mentioned Celeste. Do you all know how many diamonds Celeste referred to Jen Hawkins as customers? I know of 4 that Celeste was a customer, and so she gave the referral and gave them to Jen Hawkins as customers. And then when Celeste joined, then they came back and became ambassadors. One of them is our Diamond Upline, Rainey Anderson. So I say that to say this. With your personal use customers, you need to go to them, right, and say, I know you're loving the products. Who else do you think would be great customers? I've got this leaders retreat I want to qualify for, and I think you know 3 to 5 people that would benefit from the products. I'll reach out and do all the legwork, but I would love for you to give me a few names. That's going to do 2 things. Number 1, they're going to appreciate you asking and checking up and following up on them. Number 2, remember what I said at the beginning, people love to help people. So you have a contest, they want to help you, they'll give you a few names. And then thirdly, what it's going to do is it's going to say, well, wait a minute. So what happens when you get them? Well, they're going to be a customer for me. Now, however, if you want to get your products paid for, you might want to think about actually adding them to your team and starting to build a little bit of business like I did or like my uplines did. And now they're making tens of thousands of dollars every month. But in the meantime, if you don't want to do that, I'll gladly have your referral. So ask for referrals from those current customers and current use ambassadors.
And
I
remember,
love that. Thank you so much.
Good.
and I would just say too, remember that good training comes from duplication. So if they say, well, I don't want to sell this, but my mom wants the product, so how do we do that? Make that as positive as an experience for them, adding them to their team or setting them up as a customer as possible. Do that work for them and show them, okay, well, that just made you $40 now a month. More than likely, then they're going to come back to you the next time. Well, hopefully, if you've walked them through that process a couple of times, then they'll start quickly picking up on how to do that. And then before long, you have them sharing.
Great question. Good. Any more? Got some experienced people. I didn't expect any questions. They were ready to go after
I'm
it.
laughing because I think I could identify who's taken their edge today and who hasn't. Or maybe whose edge has worn off. I'm just kidding. We did not take it today. Just FYI. We wanted to give it, and it was hard.
Any more questions? Awesome. I love we're getting 2 ambassadors for the price of 1 with Steph and Bev.
I know.
It's good. Hello. Hello. All right. We appreciate you all. Thank you for investing the time. I know the Cavaliers game was on. I purposely did it during this time because I'm stressed. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to know what the score is.
It's just basketball.
It's just a game.
It's just basketball.
It's no big deal.
Who's going to get the 4,000 points? That's what I want to know.
There we go. Awesome. We appreciate you all so much. Have a great week, a great month. Please reach out if you need us.
Yeah.
And
Go Plexus.